Hello, everybody. My name is Brian Anderson, and I'm an editor over at Marketing ID. Today with me, we have Todd Crawford. He is a co-founder and VP of Strategic Initiatives over at Impact Radius. Todd, it's a pleasure to speak with you today.
Hey, it's great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Great. Today's topic is about marketing attribution. In order to be effective with multi-channel marketing, you need to have effective marketing attribution to be able to tell where you're finding success and what areas need improvement. Marketing analytics play a key role in that. However, many organizations find themselves, drowning in data. So, how does this abundance of static data negatively impact marketing attribution initiatives?
Well, I think, what we see is a lot of companies trying to use analysts and other marketing data sources to create a single view of their marketing efforts. And, when you are taking data from two different companies and trying to put it into another database or a spreadsheet, the thing I think most people assume wrongly is that all the data is the same, meaning every impression is measured the same, every click is measured the same, every conversion is measured the same. And that's typically one of the biggest problems that we see marketers facing, is that the data isn't the same, and it's kind of like a whack-a-mole. You can never quite figure out your data. It can be very challenging. So a lot of times what advertisers will do is try to figure out how to rely on a single source. And, sometimes they'll use their analytics, sometimes they'll use a third-party system that does, attribution. One of the things to think about too is to learn how they do their tracking. A lot of people just go, "Oh, I have a tracking solution." They don't really look under the hood and ask questions like, "How are you measuring impressions? Can I change how they're measured? Can I define how a click is counted? Can I dedupe my conversion so that I'm only recognizing a single marketing channel as getting credit even if others are involved?" So those are things that I think advertisers need to figure out before they get their hands on the data.
Right. So, how can these data-driven marketers alleviate those pain points and start, effectively using their data to attribute their campaigns and maximize their overall capabilities?
Well, I think the first thing is that the team as a whole needs to agree there's going to be one way to measure it. Even though I might be managing paid search and using tools that Google provides me or a third party, they might help me do my job, but that's not going to be the truth. We might have a different system. Likewise, I might be an affiliate manager, or I might be managing email, and I have different tools, but we're going to agree on one tool that's going to be that data. The other is to make sure that we're measuring all the KPIs internally that we care about, not just the data that these systems can track. We want to supplement or make sure that those systems can get that data from us, so that if we're looking to track new to file customers, or we're looking at margin data, or whatever extra data we need, we want to make sure that we have that. And that way we can measure all the channels the same. A lot of teams don't do that as well, and that can create a lot of problems when they all sit around the table to try to figure out who got credit for what.
Right. So when these teams start actually being able to do that, what kind of results can these marketers expect from effectively leveraging their data in their marketing attribution initiatives? And also, what kind of common misconceptions that marketers have need to be forgotten in order to effectively attribute their campaigns?
Well, the one thing I think to realize is that attribution or any other type of analysis is not a silver bullet. It's not going to solve all your problems. It's not going to miraculously just display an answer and you're going to have an aha moment. It's really just a better perspective of your data than kind of the traditional flat marketing views. And so it's important to remember that you're trying to understand this data, and you can't just understand all of it at once. You're kind of learning as you go. It's different for every company. Again, getting your KPIs and other important aspects of data that are important to your business inside this data is key, so that you can relate it better to your efforts and the success of your business. And then really just kind of, it's like peeling an onion. You really are looking at the top layer of data, getting consensus on, we understand what this means and what it means to our business, and then going to the next layer and the next layer, and kind of going slow. Don't try to consume it all at once. There's usually, when we track billions of data points, so it's very hard for any marketer to digest that much information. So you need to kind of create the most usable views of it, and then ask questions that give you maybe a little bit more detailed view, or maybe a completely different perspective on the data, and kind of go like that. And don't be afraid to evolve your models, compare your models, things like that, until you feel, and it's not something that usually happens overnight, but that you feel like you finally got to a model that the team believes in and can work with.
Perfect, perfect. Todd, it was a pleasure speaking with you today. Really appreciate the time.
Well, thanks for having me.
And folks, if you want to learn a little bit more about how marketing attribution can impact your multi-channel marketing initiatives, feel free to check out the link below and learn a little bit more from Impact Radius on their blog. Thank you and have a nice day.